Our old clock strikes 4 o'clock. And so we agreed the wedding, and then there was the wedding. Now we live on our farm. Her parents also live on our farm. And of course the chorus refrain, our old clock strikes 4 o'clock.
The Czech phenomenon of Jara Cimrman goes out to the world once again. The Pub In The Glade is the third play of this famous Czech that has been translated to English.
Using a simple statistical analysis, I discovered that parents, or foster parents, who enrolled their child into violin classes died on average 3 years earlier than parents or foster parents who enrolled their child in a different instrument class died on average 5 years earlier than parents, foster parents, who did not provide their children with any musical education at all.
Translating a play full of Czech humor and puns is a big challenge. As the Pub In The Glade is the one and only Cimrman operetta, the challenge was even bigger.
First of all, there are not very many translations around of the places because Píše Czech, Leha, Nedbal. There's no English versions of this. So that was more difficult because not only do you have to try and translate the sense of the text, but also you have to try and get the rhymes to work. And so that was actually quite tricky. So it was much more complex than doing an actual straight translation. Luckily, some of the songs were in German, which is fine, because I speak better German than I do Czech. So that was a bit easier. But on the whole, I'm quite pleased with the songs.
According to Mr. Stewart, who is responsible for the translation of the play, one of the most interesting things about this piece is its operetta aspects.
What I find really interesting is that it's kind of done in the style of an operetta, which is very good. And I think also the songs they have chosen, it's almost, to me it reminds me of a kind of a jukebox musical. Do you know what I mean by jukebox musical? Yeah. Where you take songs and you fit the show around the songs. What they've done very well, I think, with this is they've taken the songs from different operettas, which help describe the characters in the play. And of course, perhaps it's going a bit deep, but I think what I really like about this play is it goes on about the stupidity of men. Because if you think about it, you've got the count, who wants to try and make love to every woman he meets. And then you've got the true love presented by Kulhanek, the prisoner, and he sees women, he puts them on a pedestal, he sees them as an idol, he believes in true love, and so you have these two contrasting aspects. But what's remarkable about it, neither of them rather, have actually seen Ruzhenka. She's just a slave that appears from the window. Again, this goes back to absolutely completely surreal, isn't it? That they absolutely believe that she exists just by an arm coming out of a window.
The lady from Friedland is here. Dia, dia, da. It's the constant dia, dia, da. What does the lady from Friedland wish? Constant dia, dia, da. She wishes a daughter. Dia, dia, da. Which one shall it be? Dia, dia, da.
The plays of Jara Cimrman were recently shown to an audience in the United States.
We had some audiences there who actually were of Czech heritage, but also, interestingly, we had some audiences who had never seen Cimrman before. And so for us it was kind of like an absolute test, because you're taking somebody who knows nothing about Cimrman. And what we found is that audiences loved it, and they responded to it very warmly. We changed the beginning at the beginning, because what we did a kind of little bit of introduction about Cimrman, just to give them a feel for how it worked, because it's kind of an unusual structure to a play. You've got seminars first, and then you have the play. So, but that worked quite well. So we were very pleased with our US trip.
Despite its success abroad, reactions from the Czech Republic are mixed.
It kind of varies. Yeah. We have people who on Facebook say, "This is outrageous! How dare you! It's like making Cimrman into McDonald's." They've never seen the play. They've never come to the play. But we say, "Well, why don't you come and say?" And we've had some people who've come and said, "This can't be done," and then they turn up and they go, "Wow, this is great." And people say that we do things slightly differently to the Czechs. If you see in the Czech version, they try to do it in a kind of like an amateur sort of way. The trouble is, when we started, we have 6 actors who want to act. And so you tend to get we say much in English, it's called a higher performance, much bigger, because they want to perform. And so we have differences in how we approach the acting. But we do try and keep the plays as Czech as possible. You know, we don't try and put any references in to anybody other than who's Czech, because we think it's very important to keep the Czechness, if you like.
Sound is conducted away by the acoustic mouthpiece 9 and into the air shaft. Yes, something like that.
Jara Cimrman's road to worldwide fame does not end here. The group of the devoted Cimrmanologists are already preparing a new piece.
We've got another play in the pipeline, as it were, and we hope, but it's not down to us; it's down to the producers. We hope that we can come up with a new Cimrman play every year, so that eventually we got more than just 3 in our repertory, and we are building momentum. You know, we now got Pub In The Glade, we've got Conquest from the North Pole, and we've got The Stand-In. So that's what we're aiming to do.
If you are interested to see the full interview with Mr. Stewart and also an interview with Mrs. Jelinkova, born Siverakova, who also contributed to the translation, please check below.
And of course, Yabba Dabba Doo.